Hello, Braves Coaches. Coach Ken Anderson coming to you for Hardcore Braves, and I got my man Andrew Davison. He's been up in Yankee Land. How you been doing?
I'm doing well, Ken. Just got back from the state of Ohio. We're taping this, getting ready for the trade deadline, and preparing for the Miami Marlins after a four-game sweep that the Braves took from the Washington Nationals.
They always say how sweep it is. They did a great job this weekend. Nationals come in a hot ball club and they send them packing. Now we want them to get hot again. We've distanced ourselves 13 and a half or something like that over them, 12 and a half. So now we need them to beat the Phillies starting this week. So a lot to get to. We're going to kind of skim a lot of stuff because we don't know what's going to happen on Monday. And so there's not a lot of stuff we can do, even as far as who's starting for the Marlins. We will go through these stats. The Marlins lost 12 in a row and looked like they were fixing to be done. They have bounced back by winning 6 of 7, including 3 or 4 in New York this weekend. At least somebody can beat the Mets, not us, but they can beat them.
Yeah,
And they're right back in it in the wild card race. They're not going to buy or sell. They were going to sell. They started talking about Alcantara, some other guys, Otto Lopez, which I thought was dumb. I wouldn't sell Otto.
yeah, no.
And but I understand selling Hicks because they do have Max. But overall, the Marlins are probably going to sit still and just ride this out this year. In your opinion, are they good enough to, what as is to make a playoff spot?
I kind of think they are. I may not be too. I don't know if I'm crazy for saying that, but I'm going back to Ryan's point from one of the other previous episodes. I think the Marlins are a better possible team to get in over, maybe over the Phillies. Just the right now, as both ball teams are constructed, and this is without the Marlins selling or making any moves, and the Phillies haven't made any moves yet. So I think the Marlins can get into the playoffs the way they are, especially if they don't sell Sandy or Fairbanks or anybody like that. But I like this ball club. I've liked this ball club even before the year started.
Yeah, I like this team a lot. I like a lot of their young kids, and the thing is they're not going to do anything. I think they're just going to sit pat. But we're not going to. We can't go into this. The one thing we do know is the one guy they're not going to sell. We're going to see this weekend. That's Yuri Perez. The reason they were thinking about selling Alcantara, and they're not crazy about even signing him to a long term extension, he will be their number one. He throws 100. He's got a unhittable slider. He throws up here with confidence. I like him a lot. How about yourself?
Yeah, I like Yuri. He's always been a good young pitcher. We have some success against him in the past, but he's a great young pitcher, and I think he's Miami's future number one.
I do too. Now, here's the interesting thing: the other two guys who may go in this series, Jansen Junk and Gusto, we both hammer. So it looks like we may score some runs. Now, as far as the Braves rotation, was going to be Chris Sale. They're going to push Chris Sale back to the Yankees. It makes a lot of sense. You're trying to gain days, and I'd rather him pitch against the Yankees in New York than pitch one of our guys in New York with that short porch in right field. You probably want as many lefties. I'm surprised that Perez is still going to go on Thursday, or is he? So we'll get to what happened tonight right before we started taping. There could be a possibility somebody else could go, and you could actually get Perez and Sale in New York. Kind of wondered when this pitching rotation happened, they changed it. My thought was, I wonder if they just made a trade or fixing to make a trade. Me and you kind of talked about it. We'll get to the trade in a little bit, but it makes sense them pushing Sale back, doesn't it, to New
Yeah,
York?
it makes a lot of sense. And like you said, New York's got a lot of lefties with that short porch. Gives Sale the opportunity to get some extra of their lower right-handed bats in the lineup, Caballero, Volpe, etc. But this will be a really good series for the current pitching matchup that we have right now for the Braves. We don't know what's going to happen in the next, what is it, in the next 20 hours. Let's just say that.
Yeah. The one good thing going for us is Texas is going. Big Texas has turned into a number two starter for us. We keep wanting us to trade and get another number two starter. But right now, Big Texas is throwing well, and he will go in this series. As far as hitting the baseball, though they won 3 out of 4 in New York, they did not hit the baseball in New York. They outshot pitched New York. They had one game they scored 6. Other than that, they didn't score a lot of runs. They won today with Sandy Alcantara 2-0. He pitched great today, by the way. If they didn't want to trade somebody, they get a ton for Sandy. But it looks like they're not. Overall, their team hitting wise, Otto Lopez leads MLB in hits. I think still it's close, but Xavier Edwards is a great young player. Stowers is a good young player. They got a lot of good young players. Uh, I love Hicks, Mack, all of them. The lineup's got a lot of speed. We talked about them before on other previews. They slap the ball around. They can't hit home runs. They're not top 10 offense, but they do give you fits, don't they, Andrew?
Yeah, they're going to give us fits a little bit, especially peppering the ball kind of all over the opposite field, down the lines. They're going to hit it. It's going to be really annoying, but our pitcher's got to be able to calm the storm and keep him at bay.
As far as us hitting, we're hitting the baseball. A lot of hard contact. We worried about them coming out of New York, didn't we, Andrew? They
Yes.
didn't, but we thought they were disinterested. Again, it's not an excuse we got on to them. Me and you both kind of chewed them out on here, but they responded. They had a really good weekend, and they really hit the ball hard. 3 guys who we haven't really had. One was an injury, Acuna, come back, hit the ball hard. He only had 3 hits, 2 home runs. Yaz come off his injury. A little slow when he first started, but he had a great homestand. Austin Riley had a good homestand after a day off on Thursday. Here's the numbers. Yaz and Riley were 8 for 18, 2 homers, 7 RBIs, 4 doubles, 2 walks between them. If those 3 guys start hitting, this offense could go to another level, couldn't they, Andrew?
Oh, absolutely. And, I had that feeling with my pick to click with
Yeah.
Ronald Acuna. And, when I got a magic feeling about Ronald, I got a magic feeling. But kudos to you, Yaz and Riley, for having a good homestand. We really need y'all, especially the 3 of y'all, to just keep on going. When Ronnie gets that timing back with the fastball, look out. Look
Uh,
out.
it lengthens our lineup. And look, if you'd have told us that Baldwin and Harris would have went 4 for 30 with 1 homer, 4 RBIs, 6 strikeouts, 1 walk, I don't think we could ever say we're going to sweep them. Now,
No.
Matt Olson woke up 2 this weekend. And so I didn't get to ask the question. I was going to try to ask to Ryan, but we had a trade break in our show taping of the recap. So we keep giving the kid the hard question. So I'm going to give it to him. Matt Olson. I heard CJ talk about it. It made me really think, really, where does Matt Olson rank in the best players in MLB right now? And I look for your answer. I think you have to take in account that's Walt Weiss after the game, too. He had an interview. How you do, okay, offensively, defensively, how you are in the clubhouse, how you are just getting your team to play, showing up at the post means you play. He's got all of those nailed down. Where would you rank Matt Olson in MLB right now?
Top 7.
I like
Top
I,
7. I'm not gonna name the names, but from if you're taking the factors, and a lot of it's from post, defense, and leadership. Matt Olson is a top 7 baseball player right now, and there's no doubt he is the undisputed best first baseman in baseball.
yeah. And here's my point. I almost got to top 5 because here's the deal. He post. I love Aaron Judge. My buddy Jeremy, who does baseball banter, and you people have seen me on baseball banter. I do the 3 outs for both shows here in baseball banter. He knows how big of a Judge fan I am. I mean, I would be enamored. I don't get enamored by athletes. I've been around too many of them, kind of like you are. But he wouldn't enamor me, not just because of his size, but he has been hurt a lot lately. And Otani is great unicorn. Again, he he doesn't play the field. Yeah, okay, now he pitches. Okay, I got that. But he's having a tough time. Schwarber has had injuries this year. I'm not talking even about all over baseball. You could make a case that Matt Olson should be an MVP this year. That's where I'm getting to. So I want you to look around National League and tell me why Matt Olson should not be the MVP of the National League.
I was thinking about that on my way home, actually. I'm glad you asked me this. I don't know how there's not a case for Matt Olson to be in the MVP conversation. Everybody just wants to look at stats. But stats are great. They give us results, but they don't represent anything that we all don't know behind the scenes. Matt Olson came in 2022 as the quiet guy. Now he's number one in that clubhouse now. This is his ball club along with Chris Sales. That means something to the rest of this clubhouse. This means something to the coaching staff, the front office, and now we're really coming to see this. This means something to the fans.
I totally agree, and that's the reason why I can't put Soto in there. Soto
No.
misses time, and Soto's not good in the clubhouse. He's terrible defensively. Like the only guy that I could get to that I think means that much to their ball club is the kid we just saw this weekend in James Wood. I think that there's no way the Nats would be sniffing 500 without James Wood. He looks great around their teammates, and I don't know what the clubhouse is, but listening to Miss James, Chelsea James, is one of the best reporters, not silent, but reporters for in baseball. She does the Washington Nationals. Talks about how good he is in the clubhouse. And you watched him this weekend, and Matt Olson's just a tick better. I mean, Matt Olson, now look, you want to get into Mizorowski, what he's meant to the Brewers. You want to put a pitcher. I don't like pitchers winning MVPs. They have a Cy Young award for that. You want to put Chris Sale in there because what Chris Sale has meant to this staff. Okay. But overall, player position wise, Matt Olson, I think, could be the MVP of the National League. So keep it up, Matty. All right, real quick, we got to get predictions in here. Before we get to the predictions, Lane Thomas, we acquired Lane Thomas from the Kansas City Royals with Bailey Falter. Bailey's going to go to Gwinnett. He's just a depth piece for us, same case kind of deal. We send Carter Holton and Lucas Braun. I like Lucas Braun, but he is not the eighth best player in our system as MLB. They don't change their ranking. So Lucas is down in our 20 something ranked player. I know G and Battery Power had him at 28th. That may be a little too low for me. He follows it more than I do, so I'll take G over me. So what'd you make of the trade? Me and Ryan already put out our 2 cents. I know that you put some tweets out, but tell the people what you thought of Lane Thomas coming to Atlanta.
The dream is finally here. It's been what, 2 or 3 years now since we've been. Let's get Lane Thomas. Let's get Lane Thomas. Well, it's here, folks. I'm happy with it. I like the move. It's a right-handed bat that we need to stick into the outfield against left-handed pitchers. He hits them well, and he's been playing well a lot better recently. And he runs really well. He plays good defense. We've seen him a lot with the Nationals. I think I saw a stat since the 2022 season. He may be top 15 in hits or batting average. I forget whatever the stat was. So I think this will be a beneficial trade for the Braves in the long run, and it just makes the team a little bit have more depth.
I do too. And Lane Thomas has an 38 OPS against left-handed pitching this year. Mike Yastrzemski has an 820 OPS since May 12th against right-handed pitching. You put those two together, that's Michael Harris hitting in the box, and everybody would take another Michael Harris on the field. I think it's excellent trade by AA. All right, before we get to the predictions, we did have a trade break in the recap. We went over that. We're going to go over here. Braves sent Anthony Molina to San Francisco for Tyler Mahle. Tyler has been hurt. Now, we're going to look at his overall numbers, and Braves Twitter that like to bash AA are going to go ballistic because Tyler Mahle's overall numbers are not good. But as all the Braves reporters are trying to put out as fast as they can, since he come back off the IL, he has been good. And guess what he throws? He throws the sinker, and that's a Hef specialty, how to get the ball down. He's going to be another Bryce Elder. That's the reason why we don't know about the pitching rotation. You can see him slotting in on Thursday. I don't know when he pitched for the Giants, but that would make sense. And
Last night.
he didn't pitch last night. Well, he can make a pitch in Yankee Stadium, and that would also be a good pitcher to pitch in Yankee Stadium because it's hard to drive the ball low. That's where he throws. So we'll see. Braves Twitter. We gave up nothing for Tyler Mahle. And I look,
We gave up a Hershey bar.
Yeah, we gave him a Hershey bar, basically. And nothing against Anthony. He's a major league. He pitches better than me and Andrew could go out there and pitch. But we didn't give up a lot. One of my friends tweeted me, we should go with the kids. We can't go with the kids. We burn options. I love you. I love you. You know who I'm talking to. I love you. But you cannot keep burning these kids' options. We're in a mess with JR right now. Get a veteran in here and let them pitch. We're in a pennant race right now. And the fact of the matter is, we don't have time to see. And look, this is the same guy that fussed the whole game because JR couldn't throw strikes. What do you expect a 22-year-old kid to do? Tyler Mahle's going to throw strikes. Now, he may get bombed a couple of games, but it's better. We have an 8-game lead. This is the time to bring in a guy like Tyler Mahle. That's what I feel about it. How do you feel about Tyler Mahle coming to the Atlanta Braves?
I think it's a really good innings eater. As Ken said, he's been really well since he came off the IL. Specifically, I think I saw a 3.79 in his 7 games since he's came off. And the guy can pitch. He's a veteran, and he's going to give us some innings. He's got a little bit more velocity in the tank than Bryce in the past, but he's got a sinker, slider, changeup, curveball, and I think it's a good veteran aspect. This guy could act as a number 4, number 3, maybe, depending what else happens in the playoffs. And then I also I wondered when this happened, and we talked about this off air, if this could be in response to Lopez's injury. Do we know? I know Walt may have said something after the game that there's no structural damage, but you can't have enough pitching depth, and you always have to be for certain this time of the year. And I do believe with Lopez's injury, this was a corresponding move with Lopez going down.
I think it is because a knee injury can, you know, knee injury can affect your arm. They're going to be slow with Reynaldo coming back. I hate to say it. I could see Reynaldo not coming back with a knee injury. Now, they said there's no structural damage, blah, 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 blah. But they're going to be very cautious with this. I'm telling you, they're going to be very cautious with this.
I agree.
They owe it to him. All right, so that's our thoughts on Tyler Mahle. I know y'all going to bash it. The ones that, you know, like to get on there and think that the sky is falling. I do think we're still going to add somebody. And if anything, we have still not give up a prospect. So come Tuesday, all right, me and Andrew will promise you, Ryan's already promised you. I know Aaron will jump on here too. We will promise you, we will burn the battery down with you if we don't add another starter besides Tyler Mahle. Is that a deal, Andrew?
And I've already told some of the people who I talked to that if we don't add a starter, this boy's going to go ballistic. I'm going to go full fan mode. And y'all don't want to meet that person.
Yeah, it's not going to be pretty. But I fully believe I see what AA is trying to do. He cleaned up the hitting with Lane Thomas. Now he's trying to make sure he's got the rotation to get through the season. Now he's still not spending any money. Bogey put it out. I think after the Thomas deal and after the Mahle deal, we still got like $29 million to spend in that ballpark. That's a top line starter, and I still expect us to get one. All right, predictions real quick. We got to get out of here. How do you see the series going? We have a 3-game set, by the way.
We're going to take 2 or 3 because just being around the players when I worked at the stadium, it's hard to sweep a homestand. And that's why I'm going to go 2 or 3. I think Yuri will pitch well against us, but I say that with a grain of salt, and I would not be surprised if we sweep.
I think they're playing really well, and I think it's going to be hard for either team to sweep. And the funny thing is the best pitchers in this matchup are going to pitch against each other. A lot of times you get able to look at it and see. So I don't know how it's going to go. I'll go 2 out of 3. I'll go 2 out of 3. So Ryan on the hip coil took Ronald Acuna Jr. as his MVP to clip. And that's a good one because he crushes Miami Marlins pitching. Andrew, he didn't have a huge series. He batted 200, but he hit 2 home runs. So I'll give you the pick to clip. And Ronald, what do you got for this series?
Well, I was gonna go Ronald again. Um, Stay hot, Matt Olson.
Matt Olson also likes Miami Marlins baseball. And Matt. Now, before I give you my MVP, I'll go and give you my MVP. And I got a question for you um, on Matt Olson that we brought up on the recap. It's more of a fan fun question. I'm going to go Mike Yastrzemski. I think Mike. I think we're going to face 3 righties. Tuesday gets a little tricky, but I think Gusto may pitch. So I think 3 righties. Though I know they're going to try to get Lane in the game somehow because they don't want him to trade him and not get him in. But I'm going to go
Right.
Mike Yastrzemski. He had a great series. We'll go with that. So that's our predictions. Real quick, a fan question. Is Matt going to kill somebody in the chop house? He hits the ball so hard into the chop house. I mean, it's an absolute peak. The one on Saturday night from my seat level, it never got as high as my seat level. I sit at the press box. It got that and went straight into the chop house.
Oh no,
Yeah.
yeah.
We have Braves fans that maybe need to start wearing life jackets out there, Andrew.
There's some people who sit out in that chop house. They are lucky that they have a metal frame in front of them. Um, y'all better start bringing gloves out there just for your own protection because I do think at some point he's gonna hurt somebody and it's gonna suck, but it's gonna happen and y'all need to know how to protect yourselves because that boy crushes the baseball to the chop house. That place was made for him.
Yeah, it's amazing. Now look, he'll tell you a lot of the people who sit in the chop house, if it did hit them, it will hurt them, but they won't feel it.
Yeah,
They will not feel
not
it.
till tomorrow.
Not to tomorrow, then they'll feel it. So anybody's been to the chop house, they know what we're talking about.
Yeah.
So we're gonna get out of here. What's your final thought before I tell everybody the good stuff coming on Hardcore Bros?
Well, before we get to the good stuff, I'll start with a little bit of the deadline. We'll wait and see what happens. We should have a fun next 20 hours. Hoping that we add another pitcher. Maybe we go to the bullpen. We'll see. But final thought is keep playing well, boys.
Yeah, we're on pace now to win almost 100 games. So we're going to win the division, in my opinion, unless God forbid one of our major stars goes down. I will say the schedule in August is tougher, Andrew. The schedule is
Yeah, it
tougher.
is.
You have the Yankees, the Dodgers, Twins, all those teams are fighting for the playoffs. So we'll see.
Go to Minnesota.
Yeah, got to go to Minnesota. So we got to go to New York Yankees. So, but still a lot of home games in the month of August. Hopefully, we'll take advantage. Here's what we got coming, guys. As you're getting this thing dropped, we're going to have the link. Jump on there. We're going to do a live cast of the MLB trade deadline. We're excited about doing that. We start at 2 p.m. We just had just dropped this at 1, so you've had a time to look at it. 2 o'clock, the link will come out. Jump on there. Comment section will be open, so you can comment. Keep it clean. If you get foul, we'll have to kick you out. Nobody wants to see that stuff. I don't care who it is. So, but I'm excited about that. You excited about doing the trade deadline live?
Yeah, it will be fun. It would be really fun if we get a trade for a nice frontline starting pitcher when we're on live and y'all can see us go nuts because we've been begging for it and we're ready for it. We're just patiently waiting and we know Alex is doing his due diligence out on Battery Avenue.
Yeah, and there's always one. It might not be us, but there's always one trade that MLB goes, What just happened? Why did he just get traded?" And so we're excited to break that down. The next thing is in Coach's Corner this week. Wiley Ballard's coming on to me. We've got 2 Tech guys going to sit down and talk Braves Vision, Georgia Tech, and of course, the Atlanta Braves. I'm glad Wally's going to come on. He'll be in my coach's corner. We'll drop that Wednesday afternoon. I'm looking forward to that, and I do appreciate Wiley taking his time to come on with us. And the other thing that we're going to start doing as once this trade deadline gets its way worked out, is we're going to do a live game at some point. I got to get with Andrew. We're going to figure out a live time to do it. May not do it in September. Our schedules are all packed, but I do want to do a live game. And, you know, Braves are going to make the playoffs, maybe do it in the playoffs, but we're going to do that. So be exciting. And we're going to give away 2 tickets to Wednesday night's game. All you have to do is get on YouTube, subscribe on any of our videos, put Lane Thomas tickets. It'll be his first time in Atlanta. Lane Thomas tickets. You'll be in the drawing. We'll draw for 2 tickets. And as we've told you, we are going to give away playoff tickets this year. So I'm excited about that. Hardcore Braves giving away playoff
That'd
tickets.
be fun.
Nothing against Jake and Lindsay, but y'all come out of your pocket and give away playoff tickets. They're high. I know the Colemans can afford it. They got that foul territory thing going on. So I know Sean and Scott will probably give away some tickets. I'm digging that Hammer territory. Those guys do a good job. So does Jake and Lindsay. So we appreciate y'all. We're going to get out of here. And as always, we love you, Braves country, and peace.
You know what, boys? You guys are going to be world champions for the rest of your life.